Every year, thousands of ambitious students across India prepare for one of the most challenging MBA entrance exams in the country, the Xavier Aptitude Test, or XAT. And at the heart of this exam is one of India's most respected business schools, XLRI, Xavier School of Management. Starting Monday, the 10th of November, the Indian Express, in association with XLRI, brings to you a series of conversations with educators and experts highlighting how for decades XLRI has been synonymous with academic excellence and has created not just efficient but also empathetic leaders. Make sure to tune in on 10th of November. The episode will be published at 10 a.m. It will follow our regular Three Things episode and will be available on our website indianexpress.com and everywhere you get your podcasts. Now, on with the show.
In today's episode, we talk about a train crash in Chhattisgarh that killed 11 people and what the initial inquiry has revealed about what went wrong. We also talk about why the ED has attached assets belonging to cricketers Suresh Raina and Shikar Dhawan in a money laundering probe linked to a betting platform. But first, we talk about Rahul Gandhi's latest allegations of large-scale voter manipulation in Haryana's 2024 assembly elections, and why he's calling it the biggest case yet of what he describes as vote chori. Hi, I'm Ichha Sharma, and you're listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. In a fresh escalation of his campaign against what he calls vote chori, leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has accused the Election Commission of India and the ruling BJP of orchestrating large-scale voter manipulation, this time in Haryana's 2024 assembly elections. At a press conference in Delhi on Wednesday, Gandhi unveiled what he calls the H files, alleging that the BJP's Haryana government, led by Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini, is a chori ki sarkar, a government formed through electoral theft.
What we are saying, and we are absolutely going to prove it to you 100% using data. And I want the young people of India, Gen Z, to understand this clearly. Because this is about your future. What is being done is being taken from you. You're being stolen from, your future is being destroyed. So it's important that you listen and you watch. And as I've said multiple times...
in order to understand what Rahul Gandhi is now alleging, we should also look back at what he has alleged in the past.
This is the Indian Express's Asad Rehman, who reports on the Congress for the paper.
So this is not the first press conference that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has done. He's done 2 other press conferences where he's given out details of what he calls vote chori by the BJP and the Election Commission of India. His primary allegation is that through different methods, there is large-scale voter list manipulation in the country. For this, the past 2 press conferences that he did under this category of vote chori were about a seat in Karnataka called Mahadevapura, then another seat in Karnataka called Aland, and then another seat in Maharashtra called Rajora. So these allegations started after the Maharashtra elections, when Rahul Gandhi said that there was a sizable increase in the voters in the state after the Lok Sabha elections and before the Vidhan Sabha elections. Now, his allegation at the time was that the numbers increased in places where BJP had lost, and that is why the BJP won. Then fast forward to the second press conference where he again alleged that there was voter list manipulation done on a large scale, which was, he claims, which is being done by the Election Commission of India in collusion with the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah.
There is a huge criminal fraud being perpetrated on this country. It is being done by the Election Commission and the party in power, and we have given you crystal clear, undoubtable proof here. There is
Now, the larger issue of vote chori has become Rahul Gandhi's main focal point in his campaign. We also saw a voter Adhikar Yatra in Bihar a couple of months ago, where he reiterated these allegations and said that vote chori is a pressing issue in this country at this point, and that it is something that people have to, react to, and the democratic setup in the country is being threatened by this vote chori, of what he calls vote chori.
Now, Asad tells us that at Wednesday's press conference, Gandhi alleged that out of nearly 2 crore votes cast in Haryana's 2024 assembly elections, at least 25 lakh were fraudulent, claiming that 1 in every 8 votes was cast through unfair means.
We also need to understand how strong the Congress was in Haryana. And there was a sense among the exit poll experts and the opinion poll experts and among journalists that the Congress is going to sweep Haryana. But that didn't happen. And it was also a shock defeat for the Congress. The Congress cadre, and since I cover the Congress, many of the Congress workers, Congress leaders were also shocked that they had lost Haryana. The reasons for that loss were at the time given as, internal sabotage and, different camps, with Mr. Bhupinder Singh Hooda leading one camp and Randeep Singh Surjewala leading another and Kumari Shailja leading another. So these kind of reasons were given for the Haryana loss. But since the loss, the Congress had been alleging that there were irregularities in the election process and that the EC and the machines had, helped the BJP win the election. Now, yesterday, what Rahul Gandhi has said is that there is a pattern to this and his team has done a very exhaustive investigation of what he calls vote chori and a government formed through chori in Haryana.
In fact, in Gandhi's presentation, he listed a total of 5 methods by which this alleged manipulation took place.
So, whenever Rahul Gandhi does these presentations at the AICC office in Delhi, he brings a whole set of what he calls evidence for what he's claiming on stage. So the first method he claims is duplicate voters. He says that there were 5.2 lakh duplicate voters in Haryana during the elections, and by duplicate voters he means that there is one person's photo which is used in multiple people's vote in the electoral list in Haryana. So these 5.2 lakh entries, he says that some of them have the same name, same relative name and same age within the same constituency, and a photo of one person is there on the electoral list for multiple people. The most shocking example that he gave was that is of a Brazilian model's stock image, which he claims that this person is a model from Brazil and her photograph taken by Matheus Ferraro has appeared 22 times in a constituency in Haryana named Rai.
Somebody fed this lady into the electoral list at a centralized level, not at the booth level. Just like Anand and just like Mahadevapura. So
he says that this model's photo has appeared in the electoral list with names like Seema, Sweetie, Saraswati, Suman, and so it has appeared 22 times. Then he gives another example. In Mulana Assembly constituency, he says that a woman's photo has appeared 223 times in 2 booths. Now he says that this one person's photograph is being used as duplicate voters and that the manipulation of the system is such that these votes were cast through fraudulent means.
Asad says the next method that Gandhi highlighted was that of invalid addresses, where thousands of voters were registered under house number 0. Now, for those who may not know, the EC uses house number 0 for addresses that serve as night shelter locations for individuals who do not have a permanent home but still appear on the voter roll.
Now, he says that there are 93,174 invalid addresses with house numbers like 0 and which he claims is making the verification of these people impossible. Now, what he means by invalid address is that in one house, there are, for example, 100 voters living there, and that is physically not possible, and that on one address or in one specific house there are too many people living, and that he also cites a rule by the EC that if more than 10 people live in one address, then there has to be a physical verification done of that house, which he claims is not being done. And he says that ways like, using invalid address or house number 0 is being used to create invalid addresses and fake voters. So that is the second way, which he says that 93,000 votes were cast like this.
Now, the third method through which Gandhi says this voter fraud allegedly happened was bulk voters, where dozens of people were shown as residents of a single house.
So he says that Haryana has 19 lakh entries where more than 20 voters were registered in the same house number. This is a bit like, the invalid address, and the bulk voter bit is that he's given an example of Hodal Assembly constituency where he says that he found 66 voters registered in a house belonging to a BJP Zilla Parishad vice chairperson and 501 voters in a house which he says could not be found. So bulk voters is the second way that he's alleging that this alleged fraud is being committed through.
And even besides this, Gandhi claims that multiple cross-state voters and mass deletions also contributed to this election manipulation.
So he's claiming that there are thousands of voters who are on the electoral rolls in both UP and Haryana. This also includes a sarpanch of some villages in Mathura who's associated with the BJP. He's saying that this isn't an error and it is proof of the BJP's system. And that, people have votes in both UP and Haryana, and that these people had come during the Haryana elections and had voted for the BJP, therefore securing a win for them. And then there is mass deletions, which he says that 3.5 lakh voters, nearly 2% of the electorate, were deleted between the Lok Sabha and Assembly elections. Now, Lok Sabha and Assembly election, there wasn't a very long gap. He's given the example again of the Rai Assembly constituency, where he's also claimed about the Brazilian model's photo being used. He says that 128 people who had voted in the Lok Sabha elections found their votes deleted before the Vidhan Sabha election. Now, he also claims that these voters whose names are being deleted through this mass deletion method are traditionally have been backing the Congress, and they've been targeted and their votes have been deleted through these mass deletions. And he's saying that this is being done as part of a system. This was the fifth way. Now, these are the 5 ways in which he's described this alleged vote chori is being done. Then he also played a clip of Mr. Naib Singh Saini, who's the Haryana Chief Minister, where he showed that 2 days before the results, he's saying that the BJP is going to win and there's no way that the BJP is going to lose, and that all the arrangements are in place, which he says is an indication towards these fraudulent methods being deployed by the EC and the BJP. So these are broadly what Mr. Rahul Gandhi is alleged in his press conference on Wednesday.
Now, what's worth noting is that according to Gandhi, these were not isolated errors, but part of a centralized operation involving the Election Commission and the BJP. However, both BJP and the EC have completely rejected the allegations, calling them baseless.
So far, the EC has, said that these allegations are not true, and they've dismissed the allegations. They've asked that how does he know that these people who are, being added or who are duplicate voters, how does he know that they're voting for the BJP in these elections? Because there is no way to find that out because of the secret ballot system that we have in this country. And several top leaders yesterday reacted to Mr. Rahul Gandhi's press conference. Union Minister Mr. Kiran Rijiju held a press conference, said that these allegations are baseless. Rahul Gandhi is talking about the democratic system and the democratic system having failed in India, which is a direct insult to the country, and that these allegations are a way to cover up the fact that the Mahagathbandhan or the India Alliance and the Congress is losing Bihar.
Now, a day after Gandhi made these claims, the Indian Express reporters visited 2 constituencies he talked about at the conference.
In Hodal Assembly constituencies, where Rahul Gandhi said that there are bulk voters, where there is one house which has more than 50 voters registered on the same address. Our reporters went to Hodal and found that the house number which he spoke about, there was a family, an extended family of a BJP Zilla Parishad vice chairman, which was living there, and that everyone in that extended family over the years, over decades, has been writing that as their address, and that it is a big family, and that is why there are a large number of people on one address in that house. Then in the second place, which is Rai Assembly constituency in Haryana, where Rahul Gandhi has alleged that these Brazilian photos were used, and one photo was used more than 200 times in the electoral list in there. So the Indian Express reporters did go and talk to people whose name is there in the electoral list with the photo of, say, the Brazilian model or someone who he claims is a bogus photo. So they did say that they didn't know about the photo not being the correct one, but that they did get to vote in the assembly elections and the Lok Sabha elections. So they were real people and they were not fake voters, and those real people had voted in the assembly elections as well as the Lok Sabha elections last year.
Now, Asad says that allegations of EVM manipulation and voter roll tampering aren't new, but these accusations stand out for their specificity and scale.
See, we've been hearing the opposition talk about removing the EVMs and going back to the ballot for years now. It's not new. A large chunk of opposition parties have been demanding this. But what Rahul Gandhi's allegations, how they're different, they have more specific information. If you look at like what he does in these press conferences, does paint a picture of there being some degree of irregularity, whether it is helping the BJP or not, or whether it is being done in an organized manner. These are things that are still unanswered. But what Rahul Gandhi's allegations and the past allegations and allegations of, tampering and manipulation of the voters list and the electoral list is that Rahul Gandhi comes prepared with some talking points, with some larger themes of additions, deletions, softwares, and where he is talking about this being an organized, centralized operation being done to help the BJP. And that is where these allegations are different from the allegations in the past, where Rahul Gandhi is not just leveling these allegations, but is also coming out with some degree of preparation and some degree of samples to show to the media, to the country, that there is some degree of tampering that is happening.
Now, despite such serious allegations being raised by the leader of the opposition, the Election Commission has given no indication of conducting an independent probe.
If you look at how the last two press conferences and how things have been, Rahul Gandhi has been making these allegations, and then the CEC has also been defending the EC that this is not the case and that what Rahul Gandhi is saying is not true. Now, whether there is going to be a centralized investigation into these allegations, we don't know that yet, and it doesn't seem like it, but maybe there will be and we might see something like that, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything on those lines. And Rahul Gandhi has also said that, he's not going to approach courts with these allegations because he says that he's putting it out there in the public, and as a politician, as the leader of the opposition, his duty is to tell the people of the country and not to, fight court cases on these issues.
And next, we shift our focus to Chhattisgarh's Bilaspur district, where investigators say the deadly train crash that killed 11 people earlier this week was caused by human error. An initial inquiry by the Southeast Central Railway has found that the crew of the Bilaspur-bound passenger train failed to control the vehicle at a danger signal before colliding with a stationary goods train near Lal Khadan in Chhattisgarh. Now, there's also a separate investigation by the Commissioner of Railway Safety underway to confirm whether a signal fault or crew lapse triggered the crash. To understand what the preliminary findings tell us and what's next for the ongoing inquiry, we speak to the Indian Express's Jayprakash Naidu, who begins by telling us what happened on the day of the crash.
Yeah, so the incident took place around 4 p.m. on Tuesday evening. There was this local passenger train which was carrying hundreds of passengers, and it was moving towards the Bilaspur railway station. And just a few kilometers before the railway station could come, it rammed into a stationed goods train which was carrying coal. The passenger train was speeding around 79 kmph, and when it collided with the goods train, the impact was such that the engine, it climbed atop the last coach of the goods train, and the first compartment of the passenger train, it took the severe brunt of the collision, and that led to the death of 11 people.
And Jayprakash, we understand that according to the initial findings, the passenger train committed something called a SPAD case. So could you explain what exactly does a SPAD mean in railway terms?
Yeah, so SPAD stands for Signal Passing at Danger, which means the train's loco pilot, he passed a red danger signal without proper authority. So this information has come out as per an initial internal report of Southeast Central Railway, SECR. So as per the initial report, the train speed just before the collision was 76 kmph. The crew, it failed to control the train at the danger signal, and the crew was responsible for not controlling the train at the right time and right position before danger signal, and this is why they committed SPAD case.
Right, and during your reportage, you spoke with the officials who said that the investigation would have been easier if there had been cameras inside the loco pilot's cabin. So, could you tell us how crucial are these gears in such cases?
Yeah, so I spoke with the railway sources and they said that there were no CCTV cameras inside the loco pilot cabin, but they also added that they are, doing the work of installing CCTV cameras not only in the cabin but also in the coaches, and the work is underway. I also spoke to the police who have registered a FIR in the matter for causing death due to negligence. So they also told that in absence of this live footages of what transpired inside the cabin of the loco pilot, they will now depend on what the assistant loco pilot has to say about it. So even though the loco pilot passed away in the incident, the assistant loco pilot survived the incident, and they will be questioning her and they will be questioning others as well. And sources in the railways also said that they have equipment and a record book and procedures that help them understand the speed of the train at the time of the incident and whether instructions were followed by the crew.
Right, and what do we know about the victims and survivors, and also the kind of support that has been offered to them so far?
Yeah, so about the victims, as I said, there are 11 people who have died, and rupees 10 lakh compensation will be given to them, and another rupees 5 lakh will be given to them by the state government, 10 lakh by the railways, and apart from that, the injured people, they will be getting rupees 5 lakh from the railways, and from the state, they will be getting another 50,000 rupees. The survivors, they're mostly local people who were traveling, within Bilaspur. And there was this family from Bilaspur, the person named Arjun Yadav. He was a rickshaw driver. So he died. His wife Sheila Yadav died. His mother-in-law died. And miraculously, their 2-year-old son who was traveling with them, he survived the incident.
And lastly, Jayprakash, what's next for the probe after these initial findings? Like, what's expected next?
Yeah, so the CRS, which means Commissioner of Railway Safety for Southeastern Circle, Brijesh Kumar Mishra, he's conducting an statutory inquiry in the incident. Today, that is on Thursday, he'll be questioning a total of 19 officials from the railway. This includes the assistant loco pilot Rashmi Raj, who luckily survived the incident, but the loco pilot Vidya Sagar lost his life. So the inquiry will take a few days to complete, after which we'll know the whole picture.
And in the end, we take a look at two of India's most recognizable cricketers who are now in the middle of a money laundering probe. The Enforcement Directorate has attached movable and immovable assets worth over 11 crore rupees belonging to former Indian cricketers Suresh Raina and Shikar Dhawan in connection with a money laundering case linked to the illegal betting platform 1xBet. The action was taken under the provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act of 2002. As reported by the Indian Express's Mahendra Singh Manral, ED officials say that attached assets include mutual fund investments worth over 6 crore rupees in the name of Suresh Raina and a property valued at 4.5 crore rupees in the name of Shikar Dhawan. The attachments are part of an ongoing investigation into offshore betting operations that allegedly use surrogate branding and layered financial transactions to conceal the origin of illicit funds. The ED said its investigation is based on multiple FIRs registered by police in several states against the operators of 1xBet, which ran illegal online gambling and betting services targeting Indian users. The agency found that Raina and Dhawan had entered into endorsement agreements with foreign entities for promoting 1xBet and its surrogate brands 1xBet and 1xBet Sporting Lines. Payments for these endorsements were allegedly routed through foreign intermediaries to disguise their illegal source. Manral highlights that 1xBet used over 6,000 mule accounts to collect money from Indian users, routing funds through multiple payment gateways that onboarded merchants without proper KYC verification. It said these merchants' declared business activities did not align with their transaction patterns, suggesting the laundering of funds exceeding 1,000 crore rupees. Earlier in September, the ED recorded statements from Raina, Dhawan, Yuvraj Singh, and Robin Uthappa as part of their inquiry. The agency also summoned Bollywood actors Sonu Sood and Urvashi Rautela, former Trinamool Congress MP Mimi Chakrabarti, and Bengali actor Ankush Hazra, all of whom allegedly promoted 1xBet through surrogate branding arrangements. The ED further added it had conducted multiple search operations at properties linked to the suspects, seizing incriminating evidence. Around 4 crore rupees held in related bank accounts has been frozen so far. You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and produced by Shashank, Bhargava and me, Ichha Sharma. If you like the show, do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast. You can also recommend it to someone you think may like it, with a friend or in your family. This is the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Podcast or write to us at podcast@indianexpress.com.